Welcome. All right.
All right. Welcome to the Mystery
Hanging
School.
in the band room. Is this like episode 12, maybe?
Something like
last
that.
time was, something around that.
I was thinking we should just quit announcing the episodes.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, but then I
think at some point we're gonna like screw it up or something. But
we kept track pretty good last time when we did the
we're only
whole,
up. But
it was kind of like the year in review of the first episodes, and we just kind of thought back on the good old days and
what's the start date? What's day one?
Get in that a little more.
Day one. What was the start date?
We started I think in June. June was
something?
the first episodes I put up were in June, I think, or July maybe. I forget.
Wow, you guys have had like 12 episodes so far? Cool. Once a week?
This will probably be 12. No, not once a week. We do it like it's two a month basically come out.
Nice.
So tonight we got Ryan Moore back.
Yes.
He is a repeat offender.
No Sudafed and no gold-plated guitar tonight.
No gold-plated.
Different show.
Tonight you got the Telly. You had the Strat, right, last time?
Yeah, I had a 50s reissue Strat that they gold-plated, which makes, all the difference in the world.
Was it actually gold plating? Like, is there some gold in that paint?
No, all the I don't know.
Was it spray
tuners
painted?
And the neck was just spray painted solid gold. It's fast.
Yeah. Like Jeremy's story talking about spray painting his guitar, like gold or red.
Nice.
Spray paint special. Right?
Yours wasn't spray
from
painted.
Torque. I don't know if you met.
No.
My jam buddy.
Yeah.
From way back. We did a Torque episode actually on the Mystery School.
Nice.
Tony played bass.
Hey, so speaking of that, where can you find the episodes?
iTunes. You could just look up your name on iTunes now, and
you're out there.
Yeah.
Wow.
You type in Ryan Moore, and it'll pull up. But if you search the Mystery School on iTunes, you could find it.
Right on.
It has a website too. It's also on Stitcher, although I don't prefer the Stitcher one because I noticed that they compress it additionally. It doesn't sound as good.
Volume equalizer.
No, I don't know. I just think it's a compression for size, like to make it a smaller file.
What about Libsyn for the Android?
You could do the straight to the website. We have the Mystery School, or no, Libsyn.com/the Mystery School. Or no, wait. I think it's the Mystery School.
Some of those words around.
.libsyn.com, I think. I don't know.
Just throw it out there and Google will know what you're thinking.
Yeah, if you Google searched the Mystery School Libsyn, you might find that. But easiest way is iTunes. You do iTunes?
I do iTunes.
So yeah, you can find it there.
Nice.
It's hard for Tony to find it sometimes, man. I mean, it's just...
I've found it.
Yeah.
I've learned so much from Tony.
It leaves you there.
You go to Dropbox.com, you go to Slingback, you go to Wraparound.
He knows the world of the podcast.
Slingback. I don't know the Slingback.
all these new tools. I'm a 36-year-old man here. I'm starting to wrinkle down. I don't know what's out there.
You gotta fucking learn some shit doing a podcast.
I bet.
Yeah, keeping up.
Like I had to learn how to mix on a computer doing this. Before this, I hadn't done any of that.
So what do you use?
I used Reaper, which is like a pretty cheap like recording whatever. I guess it's an interface or it's a DAW. I don't know what it's called, but that's not an interface. It's a program where you mix all the stuff and you add like compressors and different plugins. I'm mixing the volume and then I'm automating it throughout. So I'm changing volume levels on different parts throughout the thing. Mm-hmm. And then I use compressors and a little bit of EQ.
Nice.
A few other things too, but that's the main stuff.
Can you add notes?
I guess you could, but I don't.
A couple areas I need some notes.
I don't do any of that. I can.
Really fast ones.
If you were singing tonight, I could use auto tune if I needed.
You would totally need to, dude. As you found out last weekend.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tonight I'm on the bass. Ryan's on the guitar. Dustin, of course, on the drums.
And we're here hanging in the band room because it's raining out here.
It's a rainy day. Can't hear the rain, but
got cocoa.
It's raining.
What kind of cocoa are you drinking?
Some water, Aquafina water.
Good.
Yeah, and a brew, Tecate.
Yeah, we got T-Birds tonight.
T-Birds in
Except
the house.
Ryan's premium style.
I brought the
With the
Sculpin it
ballast
down.
point, the Sculpin Indian Pale Ale.
got some the celebrations just out. 'Tis the season.
All right.
Oh yeah,
Sierra
that's
Nevada.
the fresh hop, right?
Fresh hop, baby. It's another good year.
Fantastic. So, I mean, the repeat offenders here. What's the ideal now? Tony on the bass. That's a good dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah, should be
Should be
cool. We
cool.
got lots
Power
of effects
trio.
hooked up tonight for some serious psychedelic sounds. Hopefully we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about what's in front of us here. This is amazing.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of knobs and whistles.
We each got 2 amps. They're all guitar amps actually, because that's all I got. And then the bass has got a direct signal, and then Ryan's got 9 pedals in front of him, and I got about maybe 12 or 13.
The Snow White Ottawa.
We got a couple of delays. Yeah. We got a Leslie
The Bloom.
later, the Rotosphere.
The all-important chromatic tuner.
Yeah, that's pretty important.
Because I don't have an ear.
So, hey, are we tuned to 432 tonight, guys?
No,
Oh, that's right.
it wasn't even 432. You said it was 442. That's what you used to say, or 443 maybe.
No, I didn't. You know about it. It's
it
the
was-
whole. It's the whole thing.
It was never 432. I mean, maybe that's what it was supposed
we
to
were
be.
talking about like the love note, the B in that scale, and like the
Yeah,
532.
but you weren't saying 432. I know it was 442 or 443.
All right.
I don't know. I forget which one it was. Either way, we're not getting any love notes.
Hey,
No,
who's the face on your guitar?
not with the broken
Terrence
typewriter.
McKenna, that one. I got 2 faces.
Yeah, who are they?
I got Terrence McKenna on the back, and I got Dean Delray in between the pickups.
Elaborate.
Okay, you don't know Terrence. You don't know either of them. Okay, Terrence
Oh, wow.
McKenna. He lectured about psychedelics in like the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I guess probably early 90s too. And he would go around talking at places like Ojai and different things, and then he would just be basically telling stories about psychedelics and information about them.
Like a Tim Leary kind of?
Yeah, I guess that'd probably be the closest way to describe him, but really
More on the
cool.
mushroom side of it, like the explorer.
Yeah,
of
he was.
consciousness and would
Tim
go out
Leary
to
was
the
into
jungle.
acid, and Terrence McKenna was all
Kind
about
of carried that torch,
mushrooms,
yeah,
and
exploring
DMT.
consciousness.
What's DMT?
Dimethyltryptamine. It's you never heard of that? Ayahuasca. No, you heard of ayahuasca? Ayahuasca. It's this brew they make in the Amazon using 2 different plants, and one plant has DMT, and one has this
MAOI inhibitor.
This one has this
kinda helps
other chemical called harmine, and that makes it so that your body actually can process the DMT. Because if you didn't have them brewed together, your body would just break down the DMT.
too quickly.
So this
for
is
the
some
effects.
whatever thousands-year-old tradition in the Amazon. And then, but recently in modern years, since the 60s, people were smoking like raw DMT, and just having the craziest trips that last about 10 minutes long apparently, but they're just supposed to be insanely gnarly.
Did you hear Terrence McKenna talking about smoking DMT while peaking on acid?
Yeah. He said he recommended nobody ever do that.
They try to elongate that peak on DMT. That was minutes.
And then the other guy, Dean Delray, is he's a podcaster and stand-up comedian. He interviews a lot of rocks, 80s rock guys and other comedians. It's a good podcast. I recommend anybody check it out.
Yeah, he's funny to see live too. Good stand-up.
Yeah, he's a really good stand-up. He's like a rock comedian. It's cool.
Yeah, he knows the music.
Right on.
Dean Del Rey, yeah. Fuck yeah.
And then Terrence McKenna, I found out about him on the Psychedelic Salon podcast. That they have probably 200 McKenna lectures on there. They're free. They're an hour to
He's a trippy dude.
hour and a half usually. Yeah, McKenna is I think one of the most interesting people that I've ever like found out about.
Yeah, like his time clock theory, right? And
Yeah, he's got all kinds of crazy ideas and stuff you could never even have thought about.
And him and like Robert Anton Wilson do like the 8 stages of like human awareness, like a chart, kind of like based on like the eastern side of like the 8 points of the chakra. Just like kind of like he would explore different ways of the consciousness.
Human awareness, like like self-awareness, like emotional intelligence, kind of.
Yeah, like reprogramming your mind to think in different ways and become more aware of your surroundings.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't recall ever hearing about McKenna and Robert Anton Wilson do anything.
Yeah, well, some old good like author like that. Yeah, the
not like Rupert
Illuminatus
Sheldrake.
Huh.
No, he did.
Or Ralph Abraham.
No,
Oh,
I'm sure it was those two, and they did like the 8-stage kind of westernized chakra system, and then like his time clock zero theory, like he was like
time wave zero.
Time wave zero, yeah, like just interesting ways of looking at time and consciousness and perspective, and like a lot of it, rather than through like meditation or things or religion, it was like through psychedelics or substances and that kind of way, and paving the way, showing like, hey, be brave, like don't be scared of these things. Like they stop you from doing it, so you forget to reprogram your mind and stop digesting stuff that people tell you. It's reality, right? Like create your own reality. Like, yeah, interesting dudes.
Yeah, McKenna I just find to be like insanely interesting. Whatever he talks about, he's like somebody
He's the
who's
dude you would want to bring back. The one guy we were talking about on the show before. Like, what's the one guy you'd want to bring back? And like, McKenna was on
McKenna,
list.
he seems like he's like in his time he like read every book about psychedelics, and like he was like the type of dude who I just imagine was burning through books, and he had a really good
Very
memory.
intelligent, like doctor. I mean, he's a doctor.
I don't think
right?
he was. No, his brother
master's
is.
degree in something. Or
No, you're thinking of his brother maybe.
brother. At least got educated like maybe an undergraduate, right? When he went to his
He went to Berkeley.
studies.
I
went to Berkeley.
I don't think he had a PhD.
Find some psychedelics there.
Yeah. I mean, hanging out with thinkers of the day.
Yeah.
Tony's guy. Too bad he
cool, man.
couldn't play music.
It's one of the coolest things I've seen on a guitar is to put.
People's faces.
Well, yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's intriguing, and it's not someone that's, from my perspective, someone that's easily recognizable. I mean, there's a story behind it. And
You
Yeah,
share
I
two
think-
new individuals with.
Also, even if you knew who he was, you might not realize that was him because it's just like a black.
How'd you lay that
decal.
in? Is it
It's like a
just-
decal sticker,
Yeah. It's like
Just
something for
like-
your car, or just.
Yeah, it's like it's got the white paper and you lay it down and peel it off and all that stuff sticks on the bottom.
That's cool.
I'd like to put some more people on my guitar, more faces.
Yeah.
Alan Watts. I tried to get an Alan Watts decal, haven't found one yet. But yeah, I don't know. I was thinking it'd be cool to put some faces on the guitar.
It's a big move to put a sticker on your guitar,
Yeah.
especially a guitar like that. It's a nice guitar, man.
Yeah, and that probably is not going to be that easy to get off.
No.
The one on the pick guard, that's not as permanent seeming. It's just a.
Getting a big guard.
Or you can get it off with like a solvent or something if you needed to, but
But it's kind of it's stamping. Guitar is kind of an extension of yourself. You're stamping it, you're branding it. It's yours. It's cool.
what are you gonna put on yours?
A daisy or something.
Something.
Flowers.
I got black and white, so I could just kind of rock with any color off of it. Whatever kind of daisy color I want.
You could put a tribal band across it,
Yeah, I could definitely put flames.
barbed wire around the side.
Oh, so I'm looking for new guitars right now.
Well, if it'd have to be a face of inspiration like Tony's on his, what face would you put decal on your guitar if you had to?
Man,
Yeah, you gotta
Inspired
put
you
somebody's face
musically
on your guitar.
or in general.
probably Lowell George.
Who?
Lowell George, Little Feet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's Little Wayne's second uncle.
No. Dustin, who'd
Oh,
you
no.
put on your kick drum? You got to
Who'd I
put
put on my kick drum?
somebody's face right there.
Oh man.
A midget.
Yeah.
Small person.
Bill Cosby.
Nice.
Bill Cosby, man, you can't put Bill Cosby on your shit anymore. He's like the new, you know.
It's just like telling people to beware, though. Like, don't come too close. Like, it reminds you not to be too much of a weirdo.
You just get all pissed off.
You can
about
get
something,
crazy,
did
but you can't be a weirdo.
Oh, yeah,
He's
no.
getting accused of, like, doing naughty things to women against their will.
Yeah, he's not a popular guy right now.
No.
I mean, he is
Like
popular,
needing to go
but
jam?
not
So obviously
positively.
I was making a joke. I don't know. I've never really liked had any heroes like that kind of thing. I don't know. But if I had to choose a face, maybe
So
like
you're
musically,
saying you'd put yourself
he's like
on.
Danny Carey, like a drummer. You know, he inspired me definitely rhythmically to
You think?
play music.
I always feel like you don't want to put another musician's face. You want to put like somebody who's not.
Yeah, I like that
musical
idea of the
way.
voice.
It's a good point.
Translating into music. Yeah.
Then you put the
Well, I'd
little
say-
feet guy
well,
on
then
your guitar.
I would definitely say Bill Hicks would be my face that I'd like
put
to
Hicks
put.
on there?
Yeah, Bill Hicks.
You put another musician on there, and then you start like playing like him, and people just think you're biting him way too hardcore.
Big time. Yeah, you put Lil George on there and you start playing like, I don't know, Tesla.
You start.
Then you move to Tool. You know, it's like it's just not gonna work. Yeah, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, I've been looking at guitars lately, and it's amazing what's out there. I mean, I guess I'm more of a vintage guy, just like the vintage look of a guitar. I think they got some. It's kind of amazing that 50 years ago they got some things right, and it didn't change much.
Yeah.
You know, they're still like I'm looking at all these pickups now, these Les Pauls, and they're still trying to perfect the PAF pickups from 1959 or 58.
That's so weird about guitars. Like, it doesn't seem like anything's gotten better. You know, in a way, it's like this stuff Leo Fender and whatever Gibson were making in like the 50s. That's like, yep, let's just keep
They did
keep trying to remake this stuff.
Find the formula, right?
They did get some different stuff in the 80s, you know, or even like the 70s when like the metal type guitars were coming out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, if you're Steve Vai, you need some different gear, no doubt, for some of the stuff he's trying to pull off. But I'm telling you, some of the stuff that's out there, these bodies, like the paint jobs and stuff, and
Yeah.
I mean, even the Les Pauls, I mean, the more expensive they get, it's like they get cheesier looking, you know? And
Yeah.
just keep it simple, man. I mean, Fender has like these paisley pink tellies and stuff, and it's just, I don't know, man. I love the fact that you kept yours simple and then added your own flavor to it. I think it's the way to do it.
I know the SG comes in like 3 colors, basically, you know. Usually they're just red or black. But I mean, there are other colors, but that's weird. You don't get much choice with the SG.
I saw like a chrome one, like a silver kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know, like a kind of a gray one. It looked awesome. But they do that like probably every 5 to 10 years, so they sell the shit out of it, you know?
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's classic, man.
Classic.
Well, you ready to play some classic,
Should we do it? Jam it up?
non-classic, experimental jam music?
So what are you feeling
No
tonight?
pre-planning.
We're just gonna go for it.
Go for it.
Psychedelic love groove.
Okay, he's got a lot
Yeah,
of.
but let's get into some.
sounds here.
Let's get into some heavy stuff too.
Yeah. Oh,
heavy,
Some,
man.
Like,
All right.
you know, Caius. You know them?
Yeah. Queens
Is
of
it-
Stone Age.
Yeah. Let's get in some of the. Get a little heavy at some parts.
Mhm.
We'll do some. Get into some psychedelic noise, and then
And throw the plan out the window.
I'm sure at some point we're gonna be playing some like blues stuff, it just always happens.
We'll see who's going to be the offender.
I'm kind of
The
wired
first
that
offender
way.
of blues. Wired.
I think yeah,
You guys
I
are
am
both
kinda too.
wired pretty bluesy.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, we'll ride the wave, whatever the night brings.
I'm wired groovy, I guess.
All right, let's do it.
Groove dudes.
Jam it out. We are back with the post-jam conversation. Ryan Moore here. Dustin Burton. I am Tony.
Hello.
So, there it is.
There you have it, folks.
I forgot to turn my amp on for half the thing. One of the amps. That's a bummer. All this setup and then half the jam.
Look at this wall of amps over here. How could you remember which one's on and which one's off?
I didn't. That was my problem. Yeah, well, it was on standby. That's the deal.
Once you kicked that in, it was like bass overdrive when you turned on the Marshall.
Oh, the Marshall was on the whole time. It was the Vox. It was the Vox that, yeah.
It really added full surround effect.
Well, yeah, because I had turned it off. It was off for like the talk because it was making noise. And then, what's on right now? Oh, your amp? And then I was like, this thing isn't loud enough, so I turned it up. And then later I realized like it's not on at all. And then I turned it on, and it was just hella loud.
And I just turned my microphone on.
Oh,
So there we go. But it's funny when you turn this one on, it made the one on the left, the Marshall. I thought the more sound was coming out of it.
no.
So maybe
it
like
wasn't.
the loop, it completed the loop. And
Yeah.
the polarity made it sound like
It created the loop.
blasting at me. Yeah, I had the full stereo effect. Maybe. Yeah. What the hell was that tonight? The rainy day
Rainy day jam.
surf jam. Yeah.
I wanted to be sitting where you're sitting the whole night with a wall of amps staring at you.
Yeah. I always have a nice view.
I could see.
Yeah.
4 amps just shooting right at you.
Yeah.
Marshall, Vox, Fender,
2
Amp
fenders. Yeah, 2 fenders. The amp
Behind the
wasn't
whole
on.
kit and cymbals, got the view of almost every instrument in the room. The sound. Yeah, I like you guys at least control the dynamic though, so it's not too loud. Sometimes having the amps pointing at you, blaring, can be fatiguing at times.
Especially when you're standing on top of the amp as a guitar player, you don't hear the highs as much.
Yeah, it's when it's on the floor and
But if they're pointing at you.
Oh yeah, and that's what I got to deal with. It's like,
Yeah.
I
You were
got
probably
to
getting a
feel
bit of
my
that.
sound, man.
It wasn't bad.
No,
Yeah, it sounded cool.
it sounded good. Yeah, it did. Yeah. I don't think when was the last time we even jammed together. It's been a while.
It was a while ago.
I was feeling like I was shaking a little bit of rust off. Wood
Did
shedding in the woodshed.
Was it July or August when we played together? It's probably I think it was like,
Was it earlier?
I think it was the end of July.
Man.
So we're like 5 months out.
Yeah. We played last weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys did.
Yeah,
Where?
me and Ryan just got together
Jammed
here.
here?
Was it like Saturday night or Friday night?
Friday night.
Friday night, Ryan came over and we just set up our amps and we just started jamming.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah, it was cool.
What did you guys do? Like this?
We played a couple Mother Hip songs.
Yeah. Set up a couple mics.
We had 2 mics going. We were singing Mother Hip songs.
Trying
jammed
to
it out.
harmonize.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was actually my first time singing to a mic. I've never been a singer, so Tony taught me a few things.
Yeah, I taught you to put your face in front of it and go.
Yeah. Just sing, dude.
Just
You
don't,
just got to belt it out.
don't worry about it.
Yeah. So what's the craziest thing that's happened on the podcast so far?
Dean freestyle rapped.
Nice.
Dean Hawkinson from like Be Brave Bold Robot. Have you heard that name before? They're like a Sacramento band. But Dean did this freestyle rap. That was pretty awesome.
Right on.
Yeah,
That was a wacky
check out that
episode.
one. It was episode 2 after yours.
Yeah.
And
Episode
then,
5 or something. Five.
Tim told stories about taking ecstasy at Disneyland. That was pretty.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. And rubbing the furry, he thought it was a furry fuzzy wall. And actually got sober people to get in on the action with
He
it.
didn't say he thought it was a fuzzy furry.
He was,
wall.
it's like felt it. It was like appealing like a furry wall, right?
I bet.
No, you're getting that from
you?
Get Him to the Greek.
Get him to the Greek now.
See that one? No.
That'd be a wonderland. What does kids say?
He hasn't reproduced.
No.
Yep, fun. Like to see at Disneyland.
Anything crazy happen really on the podcast?
Not other than, nothing like physically, like someone got injured.
That's the only thing I'm worried about.
Yeah.
I had a couple.
I don't think
Actually, the
so.
entire time we were jamming, I had a couple cords wrapped around my leg, and I'm like, nah, it's fine. You're
And
good.
nobody has been taken down.
Just don't
Yeah.
dance around.
We did a podcast with a band out at their show. We did one of those.
Yeah, that was pretty
Nice.
That
Rough
was like
Francis.
yeah.
That was cool. And then I did one at Old Ironside's 80th anniversary. Like brought some mics and interviewed people there.
Right on.
That felt pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's the craziest one was Rough Francis, I think, because that was like we just crashed, interviewed. We didn't know what was going to happen. We just showed up. We didn't know if we were going to do it or not.
Yeah.
And like the opportunity came.
I was like, let's not do it. Dustin's like, we're here to do it, man.
Yeah, let's go. Like we had to look and observe and find like ways to do it, and
But we did it. And,
yeah, that was interesting.
And then
That's about it, man. Pretty
Yeah.
uneventful here. Like let's stick to the formula.
Keep it mellow.
BS in the beginning, jam in the middle, talk about BS at the end.
Nice.
Try to bring on some interesting people. That you got to listen to the Dean episode. Though.
I will.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm stoked you. It's on iTunes now.
yeah, you just Google your name or I search your name in the iTunes, like the podcast
Yeah.
one, or even the regular iTunes. But and you come right up.
So I better watch what I say from now on these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to forget a lot. But nobody's listening. It's just us.
Sure they are.
No.
They will.
Not really. Yeah. Just
Probably
think of
not
it
till
like-
we're dead.
Yeah. It's just a fly on the wall for us to maybe capture what's going on.
We're kind of banking on you getting famous one day, and then you'll
get a
get us a
shout
lot of
out.
recognition.
The lost archives will be uncovered.
And nobody's gonna ever listen until you get famous, man.
gold-plated Stratocaster.
People are wondering what he played in the early days before he was famous.
He knew he'd be famous, so he gold-plated all of his electronics.
Faraday
Funny.
cage, bro.
My dad asked me, I brought it back to him when I got my pickups back in the telly, and he goes, what do you think about the gold? I'm like, yeah, the gold, I don't know, maybe gold looks cool in a magazine or something, but you bring it out and it's very gold.
Yeah.
He's like, I know.
Hard to be
I-
bringing.
Man.
Yeah,
I
like,
wanted
own
a gold, the Les Paul Custom with the gold originally before like I got my Les Paul. Now I wouldn't really want that, but in those early days I wanted that custom with the gold hardware.
Fuck, it's pretty gangster looking, man.
That's probably the right word for it.
It's like,
Just fucking.
over the top.
got the money, you want one with
Balls to
gold
the
trim,
walls.
right?
Well, does it make it sound better, right? Because
course.
gold's a better conductor, and
Sustain.
it confuses the eyes, so it looks better, so it sounds better.
Yeah.
It
isn't
looks
it
cool when it
pure?
starts wearing off, right?
Well, that's what I was wondering. He was kind of second guessing it, and I was thinking these guys actually, if you need a good luthier, these guys, son and father guitars in Rockland. This guy Jesse is just an awesome guy. He helped me out with. I got some pickups, and they're like boutique stuff, and I had a real hard time with this guy. He sent me shit that didn't work. Like after a couple of days, it blew up on me. And this guy Jesse just was like, "I'll just handle it." And at the end of the deal, the amount of time this guy put into it, I think he felt bad. But I mean, he charged me I don't want to say what he charged, but it was a very fair price for all the time he put into it.
Yeah.
And he does a really cool job. I mean, he gave me the idea of flipping around the volume and switch, so you can do some swells with the telly.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, those guys are good. So I'm curious if with that gold plating, if you can kind of like, what is it, like anodize it or something, whatever that word is.
Like you like age it or something.
Like kind of break
that?
it down, yeah. Put some acid on it or something.
You could, yeah. But if you're gonna do that, you probably got to do it to the whole guitar to make it match. Can't be all perfect guitar and then
He does relic.
he relics them.
So the difficult thing is I asked him, so what's the process with relicing? I mean, what do you do with these things? And he goes, basically, the best thing that I've seen is taking a chainsaw to it.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, serious? He's like, yeah, we'll take like a chainsaw and put some other stuff to it, or some sort of
You gotta be careful with
crazy
the chainsaw.
sanders, and yeah. But he showed me some pictures. He does really good work.
Yeah.
But you just wouldn't.
I couldn't do it, man.
Nah.
Take your guitar and relic it. Like I like
Beat
the
it
way
down.
I like an old guitar that looks beat down like that.
Yeah.
But the idea that you're gonna just annihilate it for vanity's sake, I couldn't do it.
I mean, you want to put that on yourself.
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't get a case. Get a guitar and don't get a case for it, man. Just take it somewhere, throw it in the back of your truck.
Yeah.
Just let it
So what's
slide
weird,
around.
like that's what that making your like tarnishing your guitar by choice.
They make it look, like
Yeah.
Kind of like putting holes in your jeans
they make it look like
and buying holes in your jeans at the store.
Well, relicking your guitar is like putting holes in your jeans, but you can buy like pre-relicked guitars, like Fender makes them and stuff, and that's like buying the jeans with holes in them.
Gotcha.
It's
So
like,
are they as like structurally flawed as buying jeans with holes in them, or is it just the outside look?
No, they're
still
not
dirty and
structurally
stuff, right?
flawed. No,
Right.
because it's just surface
Yeah.
wounds.
Yeah. So it's just
But
kind
yeah,
of
like
that
you're right.
look.
The jeans, man, you gotta. Well, actually, I think a lot of the time when they do that to the jeans, they like sew around the rips so the rips don't get too out of control. I think.
I guess on the fancy jeans.
Yeah, you get some real high end ones.
Yeah.
I don't even think they're doing that anymore, really, though. Not as much. I feel like I don't know. I guess probably
Who
for
knows?
ladies or
Yeah.
something. But the jeans I see now, maybe they have like a heavy wash, but they don't have holes in them usually.
Hey man, so tell me about this Hammond.
This is a Hammond L100.
The ham and cheese sandwich.
And it's like a early '60s organ, and it's got the tone wheel inside. You know what that is?
No.
It's like the inside of the organ, like what generates the sound is like all these spinning, like this one shaft that's got all these gears on it that spin, and the different gears have different amounts of teeth. So it's like this mathematically designed instrument. So it's set up, it spins with a 60 cycle, like, because we have 60 cycle power here, this thing spins at like the same like 60 cycle thing because of the motor in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then so there's all these gears and they have, the different ratios to make all the different sounds. Then you have these drawbars, and this is like almost like a volume control for like different gears. So you hold a note, and then it like these open up the different like the gears, kind of the volume to them.
Okay.
It's got a tube amp in it, pretty legit.
Nice. So the band I was in Chico, the guy, his name's Ryan O'Donovan, awesome keys player, and he had an original Leslie that we'd bring to shows, and a C3 organ that he cut down, and the guy was just a gear freak. He always had the coolest stuff, Wurlitzer, just all kinds of stuff. And it's when you get into keys, man, there's just so many toys that you can incorporate.
You can't beat having like a C3 and a Leslie, or a B3 and a Leslie.
Yeah.
So it sounds so good when you're like right next to it.
Oh, totally.
It's got like such heavy bottom end, you know. Yeah, this doesn't have all the low keys. This is like the smaller at home version.
Yeah.
But they're cheaper, way cheaper, you know. The C3 is like at least $1,000, or, you know, whatever, probably like maybe $2,000, you know, for one in good shape.
It's a nice filler. I mean, like for tonight, you know, having an organ in with bass, guitar, drums.
Yeah.
It's a perfect filler, and especially if you can get all psychedelic with some Leslie and some space echo and shit.
Yeah, and I've been using that Rotosphere, the Leslie
Yeah, nice.
pedal with the organ.
I bet that sounds good.
But we still have yet to get a good keyboard player over here to play anything.
Hard to find.
Yeah. Yeah, especially. Oh, actually, we had Shay over here playing organ for Constellations, but that's the only actual.
He didn't play the organ.
He played the organ.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But we did have a couple issues with the organ, and we had a bad
Sound
cable.
stuff,
We had a bad cable, so we lost a couple tunes on that. But
So what's up with these guys?
I had these up in the attic, and then these are some drums on the wall.
They're hanging on the wall.
But I
Got
just
a rhythm going on them.
I just put them here because they were up in the attic, and I didn't want them in the attic anymore, so I hung them on the wall. But you could play them.
Nice.
That's the story with those.
Yeah, nice.
One of these days, some organ guy is gonna be playing some serious organ,
Just
and then
get pissed.
he's gonna break into some fucking some drum solo.
You need a gong hanging up there, man.
Well, I
That
think
would
didn't
make
we
it
do
complete.
a jam where I was playing on those and then I was playing on the organ with mallets?
I don't think we recorded it. If we did,
And I think Kevin was playing on the drums. That is the end of it. And you were.
I don't
on
think we
guitar.
recorded that one.
It was, sure. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, we were doing a percussion on the wall drums and the organ with mallets.
Wow.
That's what you need.
And it
for these
survived.
mallets.
Yeah, they were just the fuzzy, like, fishy ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, maybe we do have that on there.
Yeah. It's one of the
I remember
more
you doing
recent
something with that.
episodes.
I remember you doing something like that. But
It was the last one.
So we set out to be a little bit harder
Merged
tonight, a
together.
little bit more psychedelic. What do you guys think about the result?
I don't know. You think we did it? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely
Yeah,
went that route.
I think so. Yeah.
Made
Felt
some-
spacey.
made
And we had
some
some good
noise.
heavy spots.
This
Yeah, some good noise
this
spots.
pedal screwed up on me for one. That was
But it's
part of the key
kinda
to
sounded cool.
And then leaving the amp off, man.
The best part about tonight was who would go to blues first.
Yeah.
Dustin blamed me
Trade
for
off.
it.
You
I
are
actually-
the original creator of the.
A few songs ago, I did it just to, and actually I think we were in like B minor or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And I switched to like B major and did some like
Uh-huh.
ultra BB King kind of thing, you know. I'm looking over at you. I never got you.
Yeah, you guys were sounding good with it though.
I always
That was fun.
It's got soul.
end up
too.
going to some kind of blues type thing, but then also it's like probably traditional blues guys would be like, that ain't the blues.
Well, I like how at least you guys just go in that vein for a little bit, but you're not trying to do like a 12-bar blues or something, or like
Why would you?
chop it up. Like you can stay too in that format, but
Yeah.
you just kind of like you said, a lot of your music you like is inspired by blues, but so you give that homage to it. But it is versatile. You can go into like whatever rockabilly or heavier stuff we were doing, like right into kind of bluesy,
Yeah.
Hendrixy stuff. You
It's
know,
like you're constantly
jazzy.
trying to find the gap in what you love that wasn't done. You know, like,
Yeah.
where's the miss note? Where's
Just
the,
like doing like a fill on the guitar or a lead, like you're like they're transitions, right? So then you try to transition between genres because ultimately they came from one another. So doing that that's what one of my favorite things with jamming is trying to like have one riff or theme or rhythm, but transition between a bunch of genres and practice.
Yeah.
Like how do you tie certain thoughts together? And that's pretty cool.
Want to go
And
through all
blues
kinds
is one
of
of those
different
versatile
motifs.
Yeah. Blues is you go back to it 'cause it's kind of like that crutch. It is versatile. It's a good jumping point
Yeah.
you can go to, which means that it's solid.
It was great to hear some drums against that one song that I threw out there. I honestly had no expectation for what a beat would sound like behind it.
Oh,
And I really liked it.
cool. Thank you.
Gave a lot of life to the song.
Yeah, I like that really Hendrixy type, like, dun, dun, ba, dun, dun, dun. Like it was pretty nice to answer back and forth with that.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's tough getting away from that for me, man. He was like,
You don't need to.
I know.
That's just your like consciousness beating yourself up because you sound too much like yourself. But that sounds freaking awesome.
Do you
Thanks.
get that?
I like the
Like your
Hendrixy
little
stuff.
internal head going like, you're doing the same shit you always do.
Yeah,
Like, fucking-
definitely, man.
That's I deal with that too. You're like you end like
Everybody
in
does.
this kind of thing where we're just kind of jamming. You end up like, I think I've already done too much of this. Like, I don't, like
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
It's good. It becomes you realize your crutch, but then it also is like, well, that's where my inspiration is. So then master it and like do it really well.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what people like is that style of it. And then it came from somewhere, whether blues or Hendrixy,
Right.
and then people who liked that, like you liked it,
Yeah.
they like your shit and they really like it because you're not trying to not be yourself. You're just playing what you do. And yeah, the ego beats you up or subconscious. You're like, doing that again, fucking repeater. You repeat yourself, you unoriginal bastard.
I think the challenge is to
But,
take the aspects that you like from it. I mean, there's certain things that I like a lot about Hendrix and people, guitar guys that you idolize or whatever. And you like certain things, but what you may like might be different than other people. And you need to take that little point that you like and just exploit it, and take it to another level instead of the people that recreate and just become a
Yeah, you find your own, at least your interpretation of how you hear it.
Yeah.
And escalate.
Yeah.
I think your favorite part of it.
So what are you guys listening to right now? What's in the deck?
I've been listening to today I was listening to Caius and then Orchid. And then I've been listening to some replacements for the last few weeks. And
Yeah, we were playing on that last weekend.
yeah,
That was fun.
we did some replacements last weekend.
Yeah, bringing back some memories right there.
Every night I listen to Neil Young Zuma because my son, that's like what he wants to hear every night.
Nice.
It's like, sometimes you put something else on, I'm like, no, Zuma.
Right on.
So I hear that every night for like probably a month. He's wanted to hear it like every night.
Yeah.
So he's got that deep into his soul. It used to be a Jerry Garcia band, Greatest Hits,
Okay.
but now it's Zuma. I don't know what'll be next.
I remember him seeing Bertha on Facebook. That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Deal.
The other night we put on some Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, and I went to change it. He's like, "No, don't change it." He didn't want me to
I
change
gotta
it.
hear this whole thing. Where's it going?
Have you played him I actually have a VHS tape with Dark Side of the Moon at like the third Lion Roar
Uh-huh.
with
Oh, you made it. You
Wizard
made
of
a tape
Oz.
to it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
crazy.
you just
Awesome.
put in the tape and it
Oh.
starts right there. We made a bunch of copies of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's funny because my
I've never
It
done
does.
that
It's,
even.
I've
Oh, you
done
have it?
It's
No.
awesome. You
dude,
got to
it's-
do it.
oh my god, it's amazing.
It makes you wonder, like, did they plan it, or do you think they did?
You should research it. I mean, there's articles on many of their albums are set to different
Really?
movies. Yeah. So I mean, it's when you do the Dark Side of the Moon and Wizard of Oz, it's unbelievably in sync.
Uh-huh.
When if you started on the third Lion, one of the biggest things for me was so money. So when money starts, you hear the cha-ching, and I believe it's when the yellow brick road turns yellow. So it goes to color, right?
Lights
So you
up
see
right
the yellow
there.
brick road, and it goes to money. Time is when all the clocks, when she's spinning in the air and all the clocks come down. So time comes
right.
on. It's one of the things that, I mean, Pink Floyd, I've always loved Pink Floyd, but when you get that perspective of the band,
But
there's
okay,
a lot more going on.
this is a weird thing, though. To do that, you would have been listening to a vinyl back in the day. So you'd have to flip the vinyl during the movie. That's it. I wonder if they, did they allow for a quick, brief vinyl flip?
And how did they have the movie at home?
I don't know. I mean, what do you mean? How did they?
I don't think they couldn't buy movies and bring them home, could they?
You think when they made that, there was no was it pre-VHS?
So I'm thinking Dark Side of the Moon is like 71.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thought. I don't know when VHSs came out though.
Well, think of this. They have
Late
the
70s or 80s.
80s.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So they would have had to have a movie projector and that stuff to even if they actually would have done that, or else they could have watched it and timed it and only made maybe only a few parts were important. But still, though, they would have put it out in a time where you couldn't even do that because you couldn't buy the VHS and have the Pink Floyd album.
All you got to do, and it's easier now that everything's digital, by the third Lion, hit play.
Yeah.
And just turn the volume off on the TV.
Yeah.
And just have your stereo playing. And you've done it.
It's amazing.
Eye-opening.
And there's theories on it, whether even they plan for it in the future. I've seen Tool's Lateralis played to the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Is that supposed
And
to be?
it's pretty amazing too. I've watched it a couple of times, and it's trippy. But I think it's one thing is the human mind, lines things up and makes it awesome.
Sure.
Like in music, bands like Pink Floyd and Tool, and movies like The Wizard of Oz or Nightmare Before Christmas. They're just they're epic. They're deep. Those songs can match to a lot of emotions you feel.
Yeah.
The movements of the movies or the timing of how they cut it, right? And then albums are packaged like a show or a movie. They're usually an hour and 10 minutes, 20 minutes, right? So they're kind of a similar format, and they have a statement to say. True albums like Pink Floyd from start to finish, so it has those builds and dynamics. So I think the human brain is just an awesome animal of finding patterns, but it has to be really cool, deep music too.
You want to find connections. Your
You
brain
do,
is
and it
constantly
makes
trying to make connections.
Yeah, and that's cool that those when they do make good music or a good movie and they formulate like that and make a connection, you know that they're both good.
Yeah.
They're in a pattern that is resonant with you, right? Or it's a good format. Like I've watched Secret Chiefs, or listened to Secret Chiefs 3 by watching Super Jail, like some on Adult Swim.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy, just quick edits and like heads will open up into like wounds of the next scene. Like, and Secret Chiefs is like, strings, and it's just, it seems like that's meant to it, and you know it obviously isn't, but because the cartoon was kind of made after, but just two amazing, a lot of busy things in the mind, just adding things up mathematically.
You ever do
trippy.
Dick Dale's Greatest Hits along with Surf Ninjas?
No.
Oh, man.
Ooh, is that another like mind blower, mind bender?
You gotta see it, man.
We used to watch with my kids Tom and Jerry with Square Pusher. The whole CD, the white one. I don't remember what it was, like the Come On Selector CD, but just and like Tom and Jerry are going, and like Tom and Jerry's funny already. It's pretty awesome. It's like probably the all-time best cartoon. Like watching it with like little kids and like adults laughing, and like the music just goes with it and amplifies it even more. You're like, oh my gosh, this is like lining up, and it did for like adults and the like little children.
If you were gonna make an album and sync it up with a movie, what would you do?
Ooh, Godfather.
Godfather?
Definitely.
That would be cool. Yeah.
You'd kind of have to splice it up, though. It's a long movie.
It's like what, like a 3-hour movie? You'll have the longest album. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's just my favorite
It'll
movie.
be
I don't know. You
long
need something a
album.
little bit more, I guess, action-packed.
You probably want
transition.
something shorter, I guess.
Yeah. Children's movies actually work very well for that. Old children's
Those
movies.
cartoon type. Yeah.
Ah, Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Oh, have you guys heard the new Primus album?
Is that
The
sync
Willy
up to
Wonka.
Willy Wonka?
Really?
Yeah, it's Primus and the Chocolate Factory with the with the fungi ensemble.
Is it supposed to sync up with Willy Wonka?
No, I don't think it might.
You
But
haven't tried
it goes through the album. Like if you're listening to the album, it does like all the songs in it in kind of chronological order.
Nice.
Does the
So-
Willy Wonka songs?
All of them. Yeah.
movie? That's
like
crazy.
hello, come on, Charlie.
Oh,
Show me your smile.
nice.
Yeah, from like, I've got the golden ticket. You got the golden ticket. Everything. Check it out. It'll make you feel like you're on something, like just listening to it. It changes your perspective.
That's funny.
And I happened to see it before they released the album last year at Fox Theater New Year's Eve. They played that, and that's what it was Primus and the Chocolate Factory with the fungi ensemble. We're like, what's that doing? Their take of the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And it was pretty crazy live.
I remember doing mushrooms one time, and I was like, this is so Primus right now.
Yeah, Primus is a mushroomy world, and this album is like, wow, it gets you there without taking anything. I can imagine it almost might be too crazy listening to it on it, but it would be fun.
Big brown beaver.
But yeah, put that over the movie. I'll bet they are trippy enough like that to probably have it sync up and work. It's good. You guys got to listen to it.
Cool.
I highly recommend it.
Let's wrap this up.
Let's recommend it. Wrap it up.
Well, thanks
Good night.
for coming out, Ryan.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Yeah.
Sit in.
Yeah.
Trio.
All right, dude. Well, later, everybody.
Keeping it going.
Yeah.
Good night.
See you, man.